What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple Newtype, and we are returning to the Grips conflict in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam Define. Last time, Camille and Quattro were saved by Hayato and Karaba. The Irish crew came to help out Bright and the Argama crew. One thing I didn't mention last time is that Rue from Double Zeta was one of the Irish girls. In this episode, the Audhumla will fight against the Asshimar and the Gap Plant, and Char will talk to Sayla for the first time since the 1-year war. So let's get into this. Bjorn Blutarch and his Asshimar team head towards Kennedy. They haven't checked in recently, and its distance from Jaburo makes it likely to be infiltrated by the AUG. Since they've been transporting supplies out of Jaburo, they have been getting sloppy. Hayato briefs everyone on the situation that they really don't have a handle on. Quattro's Zeon girls suggest piloting the Sidori as a distraction. Appley and Roberto will cover them. I like it when a Zeon girl takes control. She suggests that they launch the shuttle as well. Camille finally wakes up from his nap. Roberto mentions that he slept for 18 hours. Camille will be in charge of defending the shuttle. As the shuttle begins its countdown, Bjorn approaches the base. He notices the stolen Mark II and realizes that his hunch is correct. The Donut approaches Camille while Bjorn's Hyzak goes for the Garudas. Appley and Roberto fend them off. One of the Zeon girls sets the Garuda to autopilot and drops out of the ship. Roberto catches her. The Hyzaks realize there was only one mobile suit on the Garuda. It doesn't have any cargo. Camille can't keep up with the Asshimar. He gets Appley to pick him up on the base jabber. Then he jumps up to reach the mobile armor. However, it transforms into mobile suit mode. Bjorn fires his beam saber and gets a direct hit on the Mark II. But he ignores Camille and goes for the shuttle. Camille says, "Lol, JK, this was a distraction as well." And then he shoots the shuttle. The AUG pulled a triple bluff and sacrificed the shuttle and the Sidori to allow the Audhumla to get away. After Bjorn makes his retreat, the team meets up with the Audhumla. Camille is amazed by the Asshimar's power, while Hayato is amazed by the Zeon girl's tactical abilities. Tactical abilities. Let me tell you, I want those tactical abilities to be used on my... He is certain they are former Zeon and doesn't want to underestimate them. Bro's already on the defensive when it comes to commanding. You got this, buddy. Quattro heads to a hospital in North America. Sayla, who is now a therapist, senses her brother when she is informed of someone here to see her, who was recommended by Bright. Char walks in to see his sister for the first time since Bawaku. She is somewhat shocked to see him. They can't talk here, so they plan to meet for dinner. Bjorn's team takes control of the Sidori. In the anime, the Sidori didn't get such an elaborate backstory. It was just Wooder's ship. Damn, the Sidori got more of a backstory than Shinta and Coom. Suck it, war orphans. He meets with Major Derek Naylor, a supply-based commander. He was a hostage of Karaba. Bjorn was unaware that there was another anti-Federation organization. Bass seems to be unaware as well. He tells Bjorn that someone on the inside is helping Karaba. He says it is Ensign Omer Fang. In the Atlantic Ocean, in a nuclear-powered sub called Cerberus, Omer Fang and his crew are working according to Hayato's plan. They have taken mobile suits that was assumed to be on the Sidori. Bjorn contacts Ben Wooder. Wooder made a brief appearance in Char's deleted affair as captain of a mobile suit team that scouted out a shoal zone. Now he is under Bjorn as captain. Bask wants their team to utilize the test subjects at Newtype Labs. He wonders if Rosamia is ready for battle. Bjorn will meet up with Wooder and Rosamia. He also has to inform Bask that there is another force calling themselves Karaba. Yeah, good luck with that. He will literally kill the messenger. Back on the Audhumla, Appley is scared of lightning. Heh, Spacenoids. The bad weather will help conceal their location. The Garuda is heading to Hickory. They plan on meeting up with a guide. A small biplane meets up with the Audhumla. Camille is amazed that the pilot can handle this weather. It happens to be Beltorchica Irma. Sayla tells Char that if their father didn't preach the ideals of Zeonism, the war may have never occurred. The colony drop was led by their father's words. Many are traumatized by the events of the 1-year war, which is why Sayla focuses on healing children. Quattro says that just as her work is atonement, the AUG is his atonement. The Titan's oppression of the Spacenoids is no better than the Zabi family, if not worse. She wants to know why he is really here. Char wants to get in touch with Amuro. Sayla doesn't want him to drag Amuro into another war. He guilt trips her into saying that all of her former white base crew members are helping to fight the Titans currently, and he is needed. She decides to tell him where Amuro is, but he's going to be disappointed in who he has become. Meanwhile, at Augusta Labs, Rosamia meets with Wooder. At Buenos Aires base, Jared and Moir land the Malord. They try to get energy back up and running at the base so they can refuel. They also tried to establish communications. The civilian base Hickory was closed down after the colony drop. Remember, a small piece of the colony also hit North America and did a decent amount of damage. Hickory was a victim of this. It never was restored, so it makes for a perfect place to establish a temporary base. Basque tells Jared something he doesn't want to hear. He wonders what he should do. At Levian Rose, Captain Hankin watches over Emma when she finally wakes up. He was by her side for the past 2 days. He went from not trusting Emma to trusting her with his life, as she did for the Ayug fleet in the last battle. Somewhere in North America, Rekoa and Kai began gathering intel on where the new Titan's base could be. There hasn't been any fleet or transport ships spotted. Nothing on the ground to suggest that EFF has moved supplies from Jaburo to another location. Quattro believes that they may be using subs to transport supplies. If that is the case, they believe they would launch from Belém, a coastal city in Brazil. If that is so, then some of the crew most certainly would head into town for a drink, and will most likely open their mouth too much. Kai was able to gather this information quickly because he has a hacker working with him. This happens to be Millie Rotoki, the young sister of Miharu. I guess one of them is alive, for now. Basque gave Jared a choice between the Milady crew and Moir. He chose Moir, and Basque forced him to use G3 gas to kill the crew. She says, at least you could handle extreme orders. That's your first response to genocide? Okay. Witter and Rosamia meet with Buron. She wonders if she is ready to use the gas plant. She has been involved as a test pilot during the entire development phase. Rosamia tells Buron that she looks forward to killing Xeon. He reminds her that the 1-year war is over. He looks at Witter and says, is this one going to be okay? He says that the reports claim that she is mentally stable. She has undergone Newtype enhancements, but her simulation data is through the roof. Buron reminds Witter that simulators aren't real life. Meanwhile, in Cheyenne, Amuro senses someone coming his way. On the Jupitris, Sirocco has Major Ayachi under full control. Ayachi will be Sirocco's eyes and ears at Ayers lunar base. At Hickory, the Mark II gets some repairs, and they prep for launch once again. Camille is in a rush to get moving. Beltachika reminds him that they are currently hidden by the weather. What's the rush? Meanwhile, Buron finds a large object flying over Michigan. Good job, Beltachika. The Audhumla makes it to a steady altitude when the Sudori approaches them from behind. Buron launches in the Asshimar and Rosamia in the gas plant, along with a team of Hyzeks. Camille and the mobile suit team launches. He says that they can't keep up with the mobile armors, and they have to coax them into transforming. Appley says we need to get them to transform fast. Roberto says that is exactly what Camille said. You never listen, you idiot. These two have been through a lot over the past couple of years. They notice that one of the units is a new model. The base jabber is at maximum speed. The Mark II jumps off and is able to grab a hold of the Asshimar. The Xeon girls are guarding the Audhumla from the hangar. Buron tells Rosamia to shoot the Gundam off of him. She shoots at Camille, but he forces the donut to bank right, causing the gas plant's beam to hit Buron. Rosamia let her guard down, and Appley is able to get a hit on her. Camille forces the Asshimar to transform into mobile suit mode. It is missing one of its arms. Camille rushes in and takes out the other arm. He tells Buron to eject. He notices that the Mark II pilot is just a kid. Buron says screw it and rushes towards the Garuda. He tries to kamikaze, but Camille shoots him down. The gas plant transforms and begins fighting Camille. Her mobile suit is damaged and can't transform. She steals the Ayug's base jabber. As she escapes, Appley gets a direct hit on her mobile suit and destroys the gas plant. Rosamia ejects. Camille notices that the pilot is a girl. The Sidori goes in to retrieve Rosamia. Karaba is now at Vandenberg Air Base in Central California. I like that Karaba is constantly on the move. In the anime, they visited Hickory and Kennedy, and most of the time was spent in the air. The Garuda felt like an airship in the anime that could stay in the air forever. Here, it's simply a cargo plane that constantly needs to resupply. Hayato contacts Bright. Kai has narrowed down the location of the new Titan's base to somewhere in Africa, but they are still unsure. Quattro is also making moves to retrieve Amuro. Bright looks at Wong, who says if they could get Amuro, they could drain his bank account. Quattro is traveling through North America. One thing to note is that the Zeonic front during the 1-year war wrecked North America and sent it back into the Wild West in many ways. He heads into an abandoned building to find some Karaba contacts. They take him to Frau Bo. Kika, Katz, and Letz are there as well. Since Hayato formed Karaba, she was sent into hiding. Frau asks about his past. He is perfectly frank with her. He takes off his glasses and says that he once went by the name Char Aznable. Frau gets up with a knife and says, I will cut you. He reminds her that he is working with Hayato. Frau and the kids have a sidebar. Kika says that he isn't lying and they should hear him out. At Augusta Labs, Wooder wants to push Rosamia in the simulator to get better results. Buron and the Oakland Labs team is gone and Rosamia is injured. They have to report something to Basque. but all they have to show him is that they recovered a Garuda. He hates to admit it, but they may have to reach out to Dr. Murasame. At Vandenberg, the team gets new Dodais, which are superior to the base jabbers. The Xeon girls know that if they are approached by the Titans again, they will shoot to kill. I wish these Xeon girls would shoot to kill me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Camille is jealous of the Titan's superiority in transformable mobile suit technology. Happily tells him that Quattro is working with Anaheim Electronics on a prototype transforming mobile suit. Hayato gets a message that Wong is sending them 20 mobile suits. They are going to pick them up in New Hong Kong. Neo Hong Kong has its own spaceport. On top of that, due to private entities, it is the biggest city with no EFF base. This city has a big network of influence within the Federation as well as the colonies. In Japan, at Murasame Labs, Dr. Murasame gets a message requesting support from Augusta. He thinks this would be a great test for number 4. Wooder is informed that the Murasame will give them the Psycho Gundam for use, but they have to pick it up in Honolulu. Wooder has never accepted a request faster in his life. Meanwhile, in North America, Amuro Ray is training rookies. He was able to shoot down 6 enemies in 2 minutes. Everyone is amazed, but he finds himself to be rusty compared to his former self. He knows that Amuro is being used by EFF and constantly being monitored. As he drives back to his home, he notices a car broken down. He pulls over to find that it is Frau and the kids. She tells him to come with her. They head to a hotel where he meets with Char. Amuro says, "I will shoot you." Char has this reaction on people. The two look at each other in the eyes lovingly. And that will do it for this episode. Amuro has finally made an appearance. The fact that Char plays more of a role in getting Amuro to join the rebellion is sexy. Interesting. Next time, the Audhumla will make its way to Hong Kong. Murasame and Camille will meet. And Stephanie Luo will help out Karaba while getting flack from the city. But that will do it for now, Newtypes. Remember, when you threaten to kill Char's life when you see him, that must mean you are good friends. Peace.